All right, we are live. Hey, everybody. Hello. Hey. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Hello. Hey, Miss Jenny. Hey, Simran. Hey. Hey, guys. Hey, Lori. Hey, Xtina. Hey, Mama. Thank you for being my moderator. Everybody, Xtina is my moderator, so she does a damn good job of it, too. She needs to create a service around moderating and providing she needs to create a service around creating a company or a business where it's like brand support or like live or streaming support services for people, right? So Estina, you need to make a business out of this because so I know you got a job, but just FYI. All right, cool. Yeah, I know everything you do is like it's super like on point whenever you do the lives and stuff. So it definitely is worthy because there are people who will pay for it. Hint. So just FYI. All right, guys. So for those of you who I've been a moderator. Oh, awesome, Miss Jenny. Yeah, it's there's so many new ways to produce, and online or lives are like the wave of the future. So anything that can create or offer an additional opportunity, plus I mean everybody's doing connecting from remote places, etc. So that's the way to do it, in my opinion, because my business is entirely remote. I don't do any in-person services, and I've loved having that kind of flexibility with my business and with my life. So all right, for those of you who are new to my lives, this is the opportunity for y'all to ask me whatever y'all want to ask me about. So I do, my name is Ferny. I'm a professional psychic medium and a spiritual teacher. But during the lives, I offer my abilities to everybody free of charge. So for those of you on TikTok, you don't need to pay. I know people on TikTok love to throw money at the psychics trying to get them, you don't have to do that. This is all free. I do this every Wednesday and every Friday. Though this Friday, I won't be on live just because I originally had scheduled this week off because I picked this week just randomly, right? I said, and she said she wasn't going to be able to come, but I was like, well, I'll leave it off just in case. Try. Okay. I was like, what's going on over here? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's try this again. See if it'll work. There. Okay, cool. It seems to be working now. Yeah, sometimes this other phone acts kind of odd and it does some funny things. Anyways, I left the week off, and so she had mentioned that she wasn't going to be able to do it, and I was like, that's okay, And so I was waiting to the last minute because my partner was like, hey, you need to open those dates up so you can get some bookings again for those dates since you're not going to do anything that week. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. But I said, let's just wait till the very last minute. And so the day of me releasing those days or those times, I ended up hearing from my mom because the plans we had for my mom and her boyfriend coming back from out of town did not happen. Things fell through and big changes happened. It's like, oh crap. So essentially we had a backup plan, my sister and I, if something happened and her boyfriend wasn't, I can call her husband because it's pretty much her husband, but if he wasn't going to be back in time, then I was going to go down there to Houston and pick her up and bring her back with me. So that's what ended up happening. And so I kept the dates blocked out, but I just rearranged some of my schedule for the week. So I gave myself some extra time off this week, and I just opened up a few slots, and so they are all booked up already now. But anyways, on this past Sunday, I drove down to Houston, got there like at midnight, and then I drove back up on Monday with my mom. So now my mom's here with me. You can see her bar. That's her assistance bar that I got. I had gotten that for her bed over there in Houston because she's older, so she's needs help getting out of bed because of the bed and that. So I had installed that bar for her. She wants me to get one for her boyfriend too because he's older as well, and it's hard for him to get out of bed. So I got her one, and then I was like, I'm gonna need this with me because you're coming up here. So I brought it with me. So that's the bar back there, the little bar. She uses it to get up out of bed. But yeah, but that was it. So she's here now. So we're just kind of coordinating everything around her needs and everything like that. But I'm here. But Friday, I decided just to go ahead and leave it off, just because that way I could spend some time with her, and that way I can catch up with everything. Because having her here, I'm having to kind of shift around some of my daily processes and behaviors and such. So this helps me to kind of calibrate, just so that way it's an easy and smooth visit, and that way she can get the most out of me while she's here. So anyways, so for those of you who are new, so you can ask me your questions, and so you can ask me a psychic question, or you can try to connect with a loved one in spirit. If you want to ask me a psychic question, you need to be specific with your question. A lot of people will start off a question with, what do you see? Or can you tell me about, or do you have a message for me? Those are general, they're vague, they don't actually, that's not a question. That's just you hoping that I have some random thing that I'm going to be able to like cut through to tell you exactly, like, God wants you to know, doesn't work that way. My brain I'm an ADD personality, so FYI, y'all need to just be specific. So I know exactly what y'all want to ask me about. So be specific with your questions. Don't give me any vague questions or anything like that. That's not how I operate. Now, if we were doing a full reading, I would already cover all of that before we even get to your questions. But we're not doing a full reading. You only have like a moment to get my attention. So I'm going through, I'm looking at questions, and people's questions that are vague or not specific enough, or just kind of random and not even complete sentences, y'all are going to get skipped. Y'all missed an opportunity to get a reading there. So just FYI, don't even ask for a reading, because that's wasting precious moments where you could have just asked the question in that comment, versus asking, I want a reading, how do I get a reading, how do I get a reading? Just put your damn question there, be specific, and then I'll hopefully see it, and then I'll answer it. If you want to connect with the loved one in spirit, who do you want to connect to? That way I can intend to connect with that individual, and then I can try to bring through any information that can help me to validate that they're with you, and that they're continuing to be with you even in spirit. With comments, it is harder to give you more information or enough information, because I only have so much time. And not only that, there's stuff that they're going to share with me that I would have to have a conversation with you to clarify, or to help you understand how it's coming across. Because I can like say what I'm going to say, but people sometimes are like, oh, I don't understand what you meant or whatever. And that would have been something I would have needed to clarify, because sometimes people don't catch what I'm trying to say or how I'm trying to say it. And so I have to clarify things sometimes for people who don't get it or aren't able to put the pieces together. So if you want to come on and communicate with me and talk to me in video form, you can do so either through TikTok or through Instagram. Even though we are on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter, if you want to do video, you need to come on to Instagram or to TikTok. And you can find me through Ferny ESP if you're on Instagram. Same thing with TikTok. It's Ferny ESP. That's the only account that I have. I don't have any other account. I have like a incognito account, but I use that for like a backup in case I have to do video switches and stuff like that. But I don't use that for anything really, other than just to use for video. So if y'all ever get hit up by other accounts that have Ferny ESP but has something different, like +1 or Ferny ESP, those are scammers. They go out and they try to get y'all to give them money, send them money, and then they don't give you anything in return. That's not me, has nothing to do with me. I don't direct message or private message people. Everything that is done with me in my business is done through my website. I don't communicate through private message or instant message unless it's like a friend or someone that I have a connection with. But yeah, that's it. So just if you want to know more about me, my services, and what I offer, just check out my website, fernandomarone.com. I just updated my public predictions page, because I've been trying to do that forever, because it just takes time, and I do a lot of my own website design and website editing and stuff, because I like things a certain way, and I can get really like picky, because I'm a control freak, proud control freak, right? But I got a business and I've been having it for years, so that's what you get when you're a control freak. But I have a public predictions page, and a lot of psychics who predict things don't like to put their stuff out there so that people can see it, because they'll say things, but they don't actually want you to go back and check if they were right or wrong. I'm really honest about that. And so I make a lot of public predictions and I post them on social media. And when they come to pass, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, I will post an update. And if I'm wrong, I own it. It is what it is. So you can find what I've been able to like post so far, because it's a lot of predictions that I've made over the years. But I've been going back and trying to catalog everything and get it up there, so that way that people can go to a one place to find it. But if you go to my website, fernandomarone.com, and you go down to public predictions and prophecies, you will see all of the predictions that I've posted so far, all of the hits, all of the misses, etc. Because I try to be honest with y'all. And then I link it back to the original post, so that way y'all can be able to find the original post, because people like to lie, and you got some people out there who are just frauds and just fakes, and they don't really like have the receipts to back up what they say or their claims. So I try to provide receipts, because I'm that kind of bitch. So that's just FYI with that. But anyways, check it out. It's on my website. Sign up for my newsletter as well. I send out a newsletter. I used to do it once a week, but it was getting too much to me. So I now just do it like once every 2 weeks, and that's been the ongoing thing. But I put out like a Dear Ferny, which is like a question that people will ask me, and then I follow it up with an answer as well. So just FYI, for those of y'all who want advice and all of that other stuff. I also got a lot of free stuff on there as well. My website. I have my podcast. I have my free psychic development class for those of you who want to start off trying to take this seriously, and are tired of just like the basic bitch psychic development courses out there that kind of keep respinning the same things over and over and over again. I'm not going to have you playing with pendulums or crystals. I won't even have you playing with tarot cards or oracle cards. Not that there's anything wrong with those. They're just not the best way to develop your psychic abilities. And so I try to teach you my technique and my approach, because it took me years to figure this out, because I would see these like people on TV, and I'm like, I want to be like that, or I want to be better. And I was kind of getting frustrated. And then once I found the key and the secret to really shifting my ability to use it in a much more effective and accurate way, I created a course around it. It took me a year, but it's free. And because I want people to have the same ability to do what I do, and to cut through the bullshit that people tend to put out there, who call themselves psychics or mediums, but don't actually teach really good ways of doing it. So you can find that for free on my website as well. Anyways, okay. So if you want to come on video live with me, get onto Instagram. If you're on TikTok, there's something I need y'all to do. I need y'all to make your video viewable, just because people don't know how to do that. And Xtina was explaining it to me, and I think I got it down. But before you come on and request to be on video with me, you need to adjust your settings to allow for video. So you give your TikTok account, or you give your live, you give it permission to use your video. So you need to do that, so that way I can see you when you come on here. If you don't want to be on camera, still give permission for your video, and just have your video staring at the ceiling if you want. So that way you don't have to feel like you're on the spot. But I would really like to see people, because it's enjoyable. And I always go back and I take some of the clips and I share on my YouTube channel, because I want people to see what it's like to actually do a legit reading, and not this like bullshit that people tend to see online. So just FYI with that. And that way we can kind of elevate the standard on TikTok, especially on TikTok, because on TikTok it's real bad. Like you can go through and you see all these like people who are psychics and stuff, and they're literally just playing with sticks, or they're like just like playing with pendulums, and they're like, I'm gifted. I'm like, that's not a giftful. Like that's just a technique to trying to give someone an answer, but you're not doing anything that's psychic in that instance. You're just depending on a tool. You don't need a tool. Your psychic ability is a natural thing everybody possesses. You just have to learn to use it, and then practice the use of it over time. And that's how you get it to develop and evolve to the level that it's at. So just FYI with that. But anyways, okay. So you have to in the TikTok, you have to click. I believe Xena said you have to click in your live. If I think that, like when you request down there, you can click, and then you can select to give it. It says audio only, and then you click it, and then it says video, and it'll allow video to come through. So it's for those of you on TikTok. Okay. All right. So let's get started here. I'm not going in any particular order. Let me like wet my palate here, because my mouth is dry. All right, so not bouncing around anywhere here. So just jumping. Again, if y'all don't ask complete questions, I just think that's rude. I'm not a freaking like, it's almost like someone snapping, like, relationship, go. Like, don't snap at me. Don't snap at me, because this one woman did that once, the very early years of my career. And back then I didn't know enough about my ability or my skill set, and I was just still intimidated by the whole thing. And it took me a little longer to get information. And so I was like trying to concentrate and focus on what I was sensing. And she was like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. And she started snapping at me. The bitch snapped at me. I'm like, oh no, ma'am. And so if that were to happen today, there would be a whole different situation. I would have get kicked out of that bookstore, which I ended up not being invited back because I was a little bit more direct with people, and people want to hear fluffy answers and like just, positivity. I'm like, I'm not here for just positivity. I'm here for human realness. And so I'm going to give you the good and the bad. If you don't want to know, don't fucking ask me. I'm going to give you the good and the bad. And for those of y'all who don't like people who curse or who are very direct, don't stay on my page, because you're going to probably get insulted at some point, and unintentionally. I'm not trying to hurt y'all intentionally, but people don't like my honesty and my directness. So just FYI, you ask me, you're going to get the answer Ferny style. So just FYI. Again, advice on relationship. What are you asking about? Like, what do you want to know? Like, should you use a condom? Should you move in together? Like that, it could be a broad conversation. So I need you to narrow it down. What are you asking me specifically? Because that way I understand what exactly are you wanting me to know. Rosie Emily Ruiz. Hi, Ferny. I wanted to know if there is anything health-wise I should be concerned about. There's a couple of areas to pay attention to. One is I want you to watch your blood sugar levels, because I keep seeing blood sugar, and sometimes that could be something associated with like diabetes or pre-diabetic or just blood sugar related issues. And so if you've been feeling really tired a week, or if you've just been feeling like a drop in your energy, or just a little bit, how sometimes when we wake up really fast and we're just kind of like trying to catch our bearings, but we feel a little bit weak. Like if you start feeling a lot like that, it might have something to do with your blood sugar levels not staying regulated. Another thing that I want you to check is your hormones, because I do feel like your hormones might be a contributing factor, but it might bring you back to your thyroid. So you might need to check your thyroid as well. Okay. And whatever I'm sensing, I don't feel it's serious. I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose you. I can only tell you which areas to pay attention to. You should go to the doctor and get a diagnosis. But those are the areas that I'm sensing, and I'm not feeling serious about it. So I feel like it's something that's manageable or controllable. Okay. Lucy Bernard. Ferny, do you see how I might better my relationship with my mother? With the relationship with mom, like I know sometimes it's really important for us to have really strong relationships with our loved ones and our parents, but I think we make too much of it. I think we make too much of it. If you don't have a bond or connection with your parent, don't make a deal of it. Like, just, it is what it is. You can still have a good life. Your life and your happiness is not dependent on that relationship with your parent. Their job was to bring in you. They brought you to the world, make sure that you got to adult age. Everything else is extra. So if you just happen to have a great relationship with your mom, or you had a incredible childhood, good for you, because I don't know a lot of people who did. But if you don't have a great relationship with your mom, I have a youngest sister, my youngest sister, and my sister Rini and I have zero relationship with her. And so we don't get it. We don't understand it. I gave her some advice about being good to herself and not putting up with BS in her life when she was younger and in relationships, and I guess that didn't work for her. And ever since then, she didn't want to have nothing to do with me. And then my sister, same thing. Like she thinks we're snooty and we're above her. We're not. We just busted our asses to get to where we are, and so we don't have a relationship with her. And she follows me on Instagram. She might even, and she'll probably like it. My sister reached out to her for the wedding she just had a few weeks ago, never responded back to the wedding invitation or anything like that. But then she liked all the wedding pictures on Facebook or Instagram. Like, what the hell is that? Like, that doesn't make any, why are you like that? So it doesn't make sense to us, but whatever. It's your life. You do whatever you want to do, girl. She's probably going to see this, like I said, and like it. Again, it's whatever. We love her no matter what, but she don't want to have a relationship with us. We're going to force it, and we're not going to like lose sleep over it. We still have good lives, and we have a good relationship with each other. Everything that's going on with my mom, it's my sister Rini and I that are dealing with it, not the youngest sister. So it is what it is. So with your mom, what I would say to you is sometimes you might need to just let your mom try a little harder, or if she wants a better relationship, I would say go for it and work on it together. But if she ain't trying, and if she's just making it hard for the both of you and challenging, then maybe you need to take a step back and just let some room build there, and then let her get some perspective. Because sometimes people realize their own faults when they're left to their own devices. And if you just tend to overcompensate, which I feel like in some instances you're just overcompensating and you're not really making her accountable to herself. Just because she's your mother doesn't give her a free pass to to be the way that she is if it's an issue. So you need to make her accountable to herself. And if she doesn't want to hear it, then the actions speak louder than words. Then put some distance there and let her kind of fester and figure it out on her own. Okay, and then you might be able to kind of come back in and rebuild that relationship. That's actually something that I did with my own mom. My relationship with my mom, I love my mom, and I was with her like all the time. But it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle. And I think now in her later years, our relationship has gotten a lot better. And I feel, and I'm in a very different mental place as well. And I used to have a lot of resentment and anger and regret because of how she handled things with her ex-husband, who was very abusive and broke her mind. Today, it's like a different story. I get it because I've gone through enough in my life that I understand her struggles, but that doesn't mean that I would still not hold her accountable, but I understand. But I also have a lot of patience and empathy for her. So it's helpful to get perspective. But we have a better relationship now than back then. Okay. Dreamer Morgie. Hey, Ferny, would be so grateful if you could connect with my friend Jacob. It was his passing date yesterday, and it's been 3 years, and I miss him a lot. Yeah, and by the way, guys, like, y'all don't have to give me too much information. I mean, you can just say, my friend Jacob or whatnot, but you don't have to say, he was born on this date, he passed on this date, this is what he died of. Like, let me do some work because y'all don't want to, like, give too much away. I don't mean to be vague. Like, I know someone who passed. Can you connect with them? That's vague. Who do you want to connect to? And then I'll connect and try to bring through any information for you. Okay. But as far as Jacob is concerned, it's interesting because I keep seeing I'm seeing skin. So I don't know if I was going to ask you thinking that you were on video with me. There might be 2 tattoos that are connected to Jacob, or there might be a tattoo that was done in 2 parts, or 2 parts of it. So there's a reference there because I'm seeing something on the skin and it almost feels like, and you know what I'm thinking of? It's almost like if I were going to like take someone's like lyrics or someone's art and turn it into a tattoo or turn it into something else. And that's the way he's making me feel. So there's something like that he's acknowledging and making reference to. He is acknowledging the 30th, though I know that you mentioned the 3rd, but I'm also seeing the 30th in my head. So I don't know if the 30th of a month is significant, or there's a reference to the 30th and another important date being connected as well. He also makes me feel, thank you. He's doing something. What is he doing? He's doing something with his hand or his wrist. Don't know if he lost control of his hand or his wrist, or there was something that was causing some issue where he wasn't able to keep control of his hand or wrist, or he wasn't able to maneuver. But I almost feel like he's acknowledging something where it's almost like the intent was to do one thing, but instead something else ended up happening and I lost control, or there was an effect on the hand or the wrist that might be a part of the equation as well. He also sends white doves or white feathers, so look out for those as well. Okay. Let's go over here. Janelli, hi, why did Frank stop watching my Snapchat story? I feel like he stopped watching because he's just busy and caught up in other things, and because he's just not, it's not a priority for him. So I feel like it's just not a priority for him, and also because he just got caught up in other focuses as well, and that may include other people, okay? Kimberly, does my dad have any messages for me? Yeah, thank you. First of all, he loves you, and he wants to be clear about that. He's repeating it, so he wants me to make sure you hear him say that. I love you. He also keeps thinking, he's acknowledging the 22nd or 21st. I'm going to say 21st. So the 21st of a month may be significant, or February the 1st is connected, because I'm seeing 2-1. So I'm thinking either that or the age of 21st is significant. But I'm seeing 2-1. So I'm assuming it's the 21st of a month, or February the 1st. He also makes me feel, thank you. He says that this was not as extreme as what people might have thought with his passing, even though he makes me feel like this was not a fun experience to go through. He does make me feel like it happened faster or quicker than what people would have expected. What's interesting, he's like touching top of my back here, and he's bringing me all the way around. So I don't know if there was exceptional pain for him in this area of his body, or if there is an issue that was affecting him that was possibly like right around here, because I almost feel this sensation, and I'm feeling this right here because he's acknowledging that. He's showing me a double L, so there might be a double L sounding name that's also connected, like Ellen is a double L name, or Lily is a double L name. There's also a double L name that he's wanting to make reference to. Either it's another person that's with them that he's acknowledging, or there's someone alive with that name that he's wanting to say hello to or acknowledge, and pass on a message to as well. There's a bell or musical sound that may be connected to that, like a bell ringing or chimes, or there's a music like that sounds like bells that might be connected to him as well, because I'm hearing like this ding ding in my head. So there's a reference to that also. He also, thank you. He's showing me Florida or Georgia. I'm gonna say, because I heard Georgia in my head and I was like, wait a minute. And then I was seeing Florida, so I was like, we're good. Am I thinking of like Georgia and Florida? There may also be ties or connections to Georgia or Florida, but I want to put that in with like a picture or like photography, because I'm seeing pictures or photography, but I'm also seeing Georgia or Florida. So I'm going to say there's like a connection to that as well. Okay. Bliss, please let me know if my son Joshua is okay. I do feel he is okay. He's pointing the finger at himself, so I don't know if he brought about his own passing or caused his own passing, because that's what I would normally associate, that like I caused this or I put myself in this situation. I also feel, thank you, I am feeling a little bit of tightness in the chest, as if I'm having trouble. I almost feel like I'm having like an anxiety or panic type attack is how I'm feeling. So there might have been something that he was feeling in this area that was starting to cause an effect. But I almost feel like I'm feeling, I don't know if I'm hearing a pop or I'm feeling a hit right here as well. So there's like a feeling of this that I'm getting from the situation. 11, 17, 11. Let me go with 11. 11 may be connected because I'm seeing 11 as well. So either the 11th of a month is significant, or November might be connected as well. I'm also seeing a stuffed animal that almost reminds me of like a bear, but it may not be like a typical bear. Like normally you have like a grizzly bear or like a little teddy bear, but this might be something like a panda or like a different type of bear or something edgy, because I'm almost seeing this like edgy like stuffed animal, I guess you could say. I'm also seeing, thank you, I'm also seeing balloons. I don't know if y'all released balloons for him, or if there was something, either balloons were released, something airborne like balloons or lanterns, because sometimes I see balloons even though they were lanterns. It's the same. We released lanterns for someone that I know, but I'm seeing that. So either that, or there was a birthday that's significant around the timing of his passing, or right now. But I want to say it's probably balloons or releasing something, because I'm almost thinking that that's where I want to go with it as well. Okay, he's okay. He's okay, sweetheart. Let's go over here. Okay. Hey, precious one, please have upcoming surgery, and you were right. They found another issue besides nodule. I'm having panic attacks, but want your vibes. Thank you. I feel like this can be overcome. So I feel like this is treatable, and I feel like this can be overcome. So what I would say is, I think the idea of what could go wrong is what is causing this right now, because you have a lot of the people around you to consider, and then you have your own, am I going to be able to do this? And then on the top of that, it's the idea of what could go wrong. This could go even worse, or this might not be treatable. And so those ideas are what's part of this, and you not feeling like you're in control. It is okay, because you can get control of the situation. But right now, instead of trying to force change, you just have to go with the flow and go with the treatment that they're going to suggest, because I feel like that might make the biggest difference. And I do feel like it's treatable. Now, I can't guarantee or tell you that this is a perfect situation that you can overcome and everything's going to be just fine. I can't say that because I don't know for sure, but I feel like it. I feel like it's going to be okay, or like this is something you can overcome, and you just have to stick with the treatment that is going to be suggested. And they may suggest 2 or 3 separate treatment plans or options, and you might end up doing 2 of them, one being a procedure and then another one being like a series that has to happen for about a month or 2 after the fact. Okay. Luz Gutierrez. Hi, Ferny. Hope you are doing well. Was wondering if I will be purchasing a new home anytime soon, and will I be moving cities? I do see you moving cities. I actually think you might move cities twice because I kind of feel like you're going to be a double move. The first move feels like a temporary or partial move where you're just kind of moving in the vicinity or in the territory you'll end up in. And then the second move is actually buying property there. So, what I'm thinking is that you're going to end up moving to one of the other major cities in the same region or state. So, like, for example, like if it was Houston, where I'm from, I would say it's probably going to be either like Dallas or San Antonio. I'm thinking that, like, I would think north because I want to say go north. So where you're at, go up north because that may be where the option comes up for a change. But then that's the first move. Then you're in a temporary arrangement as far as like your living situation, which means like a lease or like just a place where you're going to be at for about a year. And then there's a purchase of a property. The property is a little bit outside of the city and it's kind of into the other city, which if you're in Dallas, next door to Dallas is Fort Worth, so you might be closer to Fort Worth and be technically in Fort Worth versus Dallas if they were like Houston, right? But I use that towards your living place because that's how you would use that as well. But it's almost like some places like there's some cities where they're always like so close enough to each other that they're still kind of incorporated with each other. There's another city. What is it? There's another one that's like that up north. Indianapolis, St. Paul, or Indiana. Yeah, Indianapolis, St. Paul. Like that's another one that's like that, where it's like they're literally butt next to each other. So it's got a feeling like that. Okay. Jay Gerbino, can you connect with my mom? Yes. So with mom, I'm hearing music, but I'm almost hearing it in like words or spoken words. So I don't know if you wrote a song or lyrics or a poem connected to mom, but I'm seeing something that reminds me of that. There may also actually be like, it's weird because I'm almost seeing it in two ways where it's like there's a dedication, but then I also feel like something is actually written out where it's like if you know how sometimes some people on their like headstone they may have um god, like random song, I don't know what a random song like here I Am with Open Arms by Journey. Like, I mean, it's like a random thing where it's almost like I'm seeing a dedication where there's something that's like words or lyrics or a saying, but then I'm also hearing it in a music form. So there might be two things like that that are connected to mom. She's shown me a heart, so she's acknowledging that, which I want to say is either her way of saying I love you, but it could also mean that there was an effect or an issue with her that was connecting to her heart or causing some issues for her with her cardiovascular, because I'm seeing that as well. I also feel, thank you, if you find flower petals in random places that they shouldn't be there, or if you're smelling flowers in like places where they're not flowers, that may be mom like letting you know that she's around you as well. She also said she tried to wake you up when you were sleeping, and it's one of those things where she might have done that when she was alive, where if you would sleep too late or if you overslept sometimes and didn't get yourself up enough to do stuff, like she might wake your butt up and like, hey, get the hell up and get doing something. So she's like almost giving you a kick in the butt, and she might have recently tried to wake you up, or you might have woken up feeling like she was calling you out or she was trying to get your attention, and that was her letting you know she was with you as well. She's also writing on my skin, so there might be a tattoo for her also. Okay. And there may even be like a nickname that's connected to her name or the tattoo. Like, for example, like if someone didn't go by their name but they went by Boo, or Boo Boo or whatever. It's almost like a nickname, but it's like not even a nickname because it's almost like a Boo type of thing. But I'm seeing her name, and then I'm seeing like some nickname like that. Okay, like Beetle Boo or Beetle Bug. Bliss. Did my son accidentally overdose? I feel like he did. I feel like he did. Um, I feel like he did. But I feel like this was, I don't get the intentional vibe. I get the accidental vibe from this. So I'm not, oh yeah, you already know that. Yeah, but I'm getting the accidental vibe. So I'm confirming that. Yeah, I feel like, so when I said he was pointing to himself, and he was responsible, he put him, that's how I feel. So, but it didn't feel like I'm going to go out. It feels like I'm just being stupid or I'm just doing whatever I want to do. And that's the way I feel with him. Okay. Um, Sad Hub 521. Will me and the kids get my husband's pension or will it go to the ex-wife? I feel like this is going to end up getting caught up in like a legal battle for almost 2 years. So you might need to prepare for this because this may not be as simple as that. I also think that some of it will go to the children. I don't think that you will get it. I think that the kids may be entitled to it, but I also feel like the ex-wife is gonna, or the ex-wife, the ex-wife, is gonna act like they were made it's almost like whenever someone says, "Oh, I was made the recipient," or "I was this," or and it may sound like something like that. So I'm thinking yes to the kids. I think the kids are going to get it. I don't think you'll get anything or something directly, but I feel like you would be entitled to it, but it would be like a separate filing, and you might decide to not go that route because it may be a better option to do it differently. The ex-wife, I think she's going to try to make it seem like she was supposed to be entitled, or she was supposed to, like she was a beneficiary or whatever, and that's where it gets a little bit challenging because it's almost like it becomes a legal battle. But I still think that financially the kids come out better than the ex-wife would have. Okay, but I feel like you may not get anything, or you may decide not to push for yours because you're going to be focused more on the kids so much, and they may get enough to where that may even come back and kind of be a positive for you or an automatic benefit to you in some way, even though it's not like a direct to you. But there is something else you will get that is separate from the pension. So there is something else that you may end up getting. Amanda, my current job, will I have promotions and move up in my career with my company? I don't think you're going to stay with the same company. I actually think you might end up. There's a reorg that might start to happen at the beginning of next year, and with the reorg, it almost feels like the name of the company is changing, or they're going to be under a completely different system. And because of this, you might just not even want to stay around for that because you may start to feel like it's just becoming a bit of a complicated, messy type of scenario environment, and you may not feel as confident about it. So I think when that starts to happen, there's actually a friend that it's a male, who either you knew through a past job or you just they're in the same industry, but they may know of another opportunity. Here's an example of this. This is why I'm trying to describe it this way. So I have a cousin who is ready to leave her work because she works for government, but the area of government that she works in, she's not happy with because of that division. And so she wants to leave that job, but she has a friend who works in another area of government who she used to work with, male, and he's like, hey, if you want to, if you ever are looking for an opportunity, we would love to have you. And that was before she even was looking for something. So there's something like that may come up for you in a similar way later this year. And so when all this stuff starts to happen, you might remember that offer, and then you might come back around and loop back around for it next year. And I feel like when you make that move or that change, I feel like that's a really good move for you, or a positive move for you, because it almost feels like the company you work for, something may shift and it may start to continue to decline, or there may be just like a kind of a spiral that starts to happen just because of the lack of strategy and the lack of integration that may be possible with the reorg that happens next year. So it's a little bit of a complicated situation. Okay, let's bring somebody on, shall we? Because I want to bring enough people on here. Feeling the intensity of the energy. Fine. Just make sure you don't drive off with a damn gas pump in your thing.
Right.
So good. Finish it up real quick. How long do you have before it's done?
I can do it. I can manage.
All right. What did you want to ask me about?
My dad recently passed away, and I just want to know if there's any messages for myself and my mom, like our siblings.
Yeah. First of all, he really appreciates what y'all tried to do for him. It was time for him to go, and he makes me feel like nothing could have been done to prevent this. He also makes me feel like there was a little bit of confusion as to why this happened so fast. Did he kind of go downhill really fast?
Yes.
Okay. Do you also know if there was...
You're cutting off.
Yeah. Do you know if the doctors had he gone to the doctor a year ago, that might have changed the outcome?
No, my dad was actually on the liver transplant list, so we knew he was sick, but it was just a matter of time of him getting a liver, but other things got complicated.
Right, which is right. But the complication thing, like that's an addition. I feel like we're three separate things going on with his health. I feel like you mentioned the liver. He's also acknowledging that there were some issues with his irregular, and then he's also feel like there was also some issues with certain blood were not were getting to
Oh man, you're cutting off. Give me.
there was could have carried a little longer had for the other issue about a year ago because I kind of feel like something was missed or something wasn't followed up with about a year and
Oh man.
I'm gonna come back and try you again in about 5 or 10 minutes. So get yourself somewhere else that might be a bit better. Request it again. You don't have to be
Okay.
sitting around waiting for me, but just like request it again, and I'm gonna try you back in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mama. Okay, let's see. So this is Ferny, it's your end. Everything looks like it's right on my end. What are you talking about? Ferny's breaking off. I'm breaking up. I look fine on my end. Everything's carrying fine on my end here. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. Okay, I just got off of Wi-Fi just to make sure that it ain't my Wi-Fi. But I thought everything was okay on my end. So interesting. Okay, because she was freezing on me, so maybe it was just the Instagram that was doing it. So okay. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Just say yes if you can hear me now. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so let me I'm gonna try her back again when she pops back up on the video. Let me try somebody else. Let me see. Um hmm.
Well,
Hello.
hello. How are
Hi.
you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear
Yes, I can. I think we have a little bit of a delay, but
me?
sorry,
Okay.
I'm just resting.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, also check your thyroid and also your adrenals because your hormones are causing some of that.
Oh, that explains the
Mm-hmm.
acne.
Have you noticing your digestive system acting weird and some things that you normally would eat or just kind of not eat going through the same way?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You need to
then,
check. Yeah, your hormones are probably contributing to that, and that's okay. You can get it worked out. What do you want to ask me about?
I just want to ask you about like my career goal, I guess, and then my marriage, like, or my love life, like who my ultimate partner is.
Your-
Like your psychic side.
right, right, got it. As far as like ultimate partner or like future relationship, I actually think you're going to end up in another relationship in about 3 years. It feels like it's an old friend that suddenly pops back into your life, but I mean, like this is like back in the day old. So it's like old school. So, but it's almost like a reconnect, and then it's like, hey, my God, I haven't talked to you forever, and then it suddenly starts to turn into more. So it might be. I feel like y'all will reconnect through like social media or online. So that's a person that pops back about 3 years.
Oh,
Okay, there might
okay.
be a bit of a long distance issue with it at first, but you can work around it.
How does he look? Like, do you know? Like, can you
I
see?
feel
Like,
like
psychic?
okay.
Okay, so I guess the husband is out. Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So hold on. Like the internet's acting. Okay. Anyways, back to that. So and what was the other question? Oh, your career.
And then the
Uh,
career, like, what do you see like my potential maximum, like where I'm going to make the most financial,
I feel like what's going to end up, first of all, you're going to try your hand at a couple of businesses, even though you might try to like earn money through like working for a company or working for an organization. I just feel like you'll end up inevitably like doing a business, but then you'll try your hand at one first. And it might be like what everybody else is into, like, oh, everybody's like becoming a realtor. Like, how many goddamn realtors are we going to have? But then you end up
right?
switching and going into like something that's a little more per your own like designs and stuff, because I keep seeing what I'm reminded of is my sister when she recently got married. There through the venue that they had people who kind of put together these packages, and like you can order it through them, and they'll take care of all the arrangements, but they custom make everything
Oh,
designed for
that's
you.
cool.
So there's something like that where it's like it's offering it's designed based on like your own taste, but it actually is presented in a way where people can customize it. So there's something like that you'll go into, and it is venue related, so it may have to do with a venue or with like, oh hey, we're doing a concert. Oh yeah, I love that band. Oh yeah, I make all their shirts. Like it's like a vibe like that. So
Okay,
it's something that's
cool.
custom made like that.
Okay, very
What,
good.
what's the job right now that you have?
I actually work in cosmetics, so I had an interview today with a company called Beauty Bio with a guy
Yeah.
that I used to work with before, but I do a lot of traveling, so I didn't know if you saw any of that here. He said about June maybe, so just for now, to get back on my feet.
You'll do that for a couple years, and then you will switch.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're
Okay.
gonna get tired and burnt out, and you're just gonna be like, I need something that I really just can feel like I can just do, and it's more flexible for me. And that's why I feel like you'll switch over into your own business.
Okay, very good, Ferny. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Will you take care of yourself, Mama? Go back to sleep.
You as well. Thank you. Bye. Awesome. Bye.
Yeah, I'm there for it. I'm like, yeah, get your butt back to sleep. I've been so exhausted the last couple of days because I slept. I didn't sleep as much on Sunday before I left for Houston. And then I went to Houston and then I got there like at midnight. And then I was chatting with my friends and catching up because I hadn't talked to people all day. I was driving, right? And so then I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30. If Ray Ray's watching and Cassidy, they would know because they were chit-chatting with me. And then I went to sleep and then I woke up at like 6 because I was like, I'm gonna get out of here early so that way we can hit the road early back to Santa Fe. And then I was supposed to hit the road like around 8 or 9. I didn't hit the road till like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So then we got back here at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So, and then I went to sleep and only slept 3 hours. So I was exhausted. So yesterday was the first night I had a full night's sleep. And then I had to work. It's like, I ain't gonna be able to like read for people or do much because I need to sleep. And my brain starts to do some funny things when I lack sleep. That and my third eye. If y'all ever see me on the live, people, I was laughing with a friend. Sometimes right here in the middle of my forehead, when I'm at a point where the energy is so intense and I'm concentrated enough, even if I'm tired, you'll see this bump start to show up here, and it's my third eye, and it tends to come out from time to time. So you might see it in some of my lives, but don't freak out because it just goes away. And when I'm not working, it's completely flat, like there's nothing. See, like you can see a little bit of it right there, but then it like flattens out and goes completely away. So it's an interesting thing that tends to happen sometimes. Let me go to Lorena, and then I'm gonna try it back again. Well, I'll try TikTok, and then I'll come back to the lady that I said I was gonna come back to. Let me see. Let me get Lorena on here. Lorraine Davila. I just requested Lorraine Davila, so there
Hello.
you are. I was like, I just
How are
requested.
you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh my gosh. I'm doing good. Thank you.
You might have a trip. You might be taking a trip, like in the relatively near future, either to New York or New Jersey, because I keep seeing New York or New Jersey in my head. So just a.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's an opportunity that might take me there. Yes. So thank you for
So
that.
that's a yes then. So the opportunity sounds like a yes.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. So what do you want to ask me about?
So I'd love to connect with spirit. I lost two brothers and my dad many, many years ago. My brothers were more recent.
Yeah. So let me see what they tell me because I don't want you to tell me too much. With the brothers, one of the brothers immediately was already starting to chat while you were still talking. It was the brother that you weren't as close to, or that there was a little bit more of a like detachment with, because one of the brothers is coming across and he's almost apologizing either for pushing you away, or he just wasn't always as involved. So he's almost like owning up to that and saying like, I'm sorry. Like I didn't realize like how much it was important to have the connection. So he's acknowledging this. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Do you know with that brother, do you know if there were people around him who seemed to have more of an influence or effect on him that might have been part of the equation for that?
Yes.
Okay, because he's owning up to that, but he's owning up to his part in it, but he's also acknowledging that that's correct and what people were thinking was correct because he's making reference to that. He also has the baby with him. Do you know if there's a baby that was miscarried, lost, or terminated?
Yes, I did. I had a miscarriage.
So you know that the baby's with him, so he's got the soul of the baby with him. So just FYI with that. He just had a happy birthday. Are we within 30 days of a birthday right now?
My other brother,
Okay.
yeah.
So he's acknowledging the birthday then. So because they're together. No, the other brother.
No. Yes. So yes, I have two other brothers that are still alive.
Got it. Okay. So he's just happy birthday to the other brother. So he's making reference to that. He also is acknowledging, thank you. There's also another date in February that just passed. So there's another date also in February that just passed?
Oh,
Or a little one?
my nephew.
Okay. So he's just acknowledging their birthday as well, or acknowledging them also. The other brother, do you know if he had a weird effect on his heart, or he was having some issues where his heart failed on him?
Yes, he died of
Okay.
a heart attack.
Okay, because he's acknowledging the heart condition. He's blaming himself because he says he had symptoms and he didn't do nothing about it. But he also wasn't the healthiest or didn't really do as much, because he makes me feel like he took things that pushed his system too hard. It's almost like, you have people who are, I drink 4 monsters a day, or I'm doing this. And it's like, that's pushing or overworking the heart. That's how he makes me feel. Hypothetically, I think he should have had a bypass at some point, or a stent put in, because I feel like there was a complete blockage of his arteries. And I feel like that was contributing to the issue with his heart as well. He's okay. He also, thank you. Is there a Lala or Lola name or nickname? It's a double L nickname. So like Lala or Lola or Lily, it's like a double L, but it's almost like a nickname, Lala, like a Lala or Lolo or Lolly. It's got a
Loli.
nickname.
Loli, that's my mom calls me that, but
Okay. He's calling you by that name then. So that may be what he's just trying to acknowledge. He also, thank you. Is there also a Rita or a Rosa?
not a Rosa.
It's a short R name, like Rita, Rosa, Rini. Like, it's a short R name. Still alive.
No.
It's an in-law or connected to an in-law. So it's not family. It's like blood. It's not blood family, but it's like an in-law family. So it's like someone that's like married into the family or connected to the family that way. And there's a baby connected to it, or an announcement. So there might have been an announcement recently connected to this person and a baby coming in.
I have to think about it.
Short name, Rita, Rosa. It may not be an exact name. Remember, if they're trying to tell me like Rosie or Rosalie, they might get me to Rose or something close enough. So it's going to have something that's close to it as possible. But the name is short R. It's like 4, maybe 5 letters at the most. But it's a short R name, and then there's a baby and an announcement, and then someone coming into the family, or a married into the family.
So my niece, she goes by, we've called her Raya. I don't know.
Okay, that would fit. That would fit.
Mm-hmm.
So she called her Raya. And is she pregnant, or is there a baby coming into the family on that end?
If there is, I don't know yet.
FYI, there might be soon, or there might be a baby connected to what's happening there. And possibly, is she married yet?
No, but she lives with someone.
There might be an announcement soon. Something's changing.
That would be his daughter. I don't know.
So then he's probably trying to like heads up, knowing all the business, because that may be what she might not stay with that person, and I don't know if I want to say that to her, but there may still be a baby coming into the picture. Okay. Yeah, they're okay, sweetheart. They're okay. Your
and my
brother,
dad.
your dad, yeah, your dad is. Do you know there was a weird infection that was affecting his leg, or he was having some issues with his leg before he passed?
Yes, so he went in for surgery because he had an issue with his blood flow, and it was, so he went in for a simple procedure and didn't make it out.
Okay, because he's shaking his leg as if it's gone, or he's better, obviously, but he's okay. He also says that he never wanted to become a vegetable or have to be bedridden, and so it was like when he was under, they put him under for the surgery. Mm-hmm. When he was, they gave him a choice, because they said, you can come back, but you're going to be in a bed for a while, and it's not going to be fun, and he didn't want to do that to y'all.
Right.
He didn't want to do that to y'all. So he wanted y'all to be okay and not to have to worry about him. But
right.
Tell your mother, thank you. 7. Do you know if the 7th of a month is connected, or there's an anniversary?
The what again?
The 7th of a month, or an anniversary on the 7th or July?
No.
Okay. He showed me the 7th. So either the 7th of a month is connected, or there's a date of significance in July. But he brought it up. Mention your mom, so you might need to ask her, because there might be something there that she is special between the two of them. But there's something about the 7th.
Okay.
Okay. He's okay, sweetheart. He's with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ferny. I
You're,
really appreciate it.
you're welcome, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourself, okay?
All right. You do the same. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, let's see. Going over here. Now I'm going to TikTok, y'all. So I'm finally getting over to TikTok. Sorry, I was, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to find La Chica del Apartamento 512 to see if she can answer and if it works this time. Because I switched over anyways to I'm so sick of Xfinity, y'all. I'm so sick of Xfinity. If there's a better internet option, I know that y'all would say, oh, AT&T or whatever. Yeah, but like I'm out in the boondocks, and so it needs to be something that's fast or high speed. Because I get the giga plan. I pay like a lot of money for internet just to make sure it works right, and it, then we get these issues, right? Let me go over. Let's go here.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm all right. Oh, I'm trying to go live. The video's not popping up.
Yeah, I think you have to do it before you accept the thing. So unless, because I mean, I think that's what Xtina had said. Is it has to be
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have a little pencil or edit button next to your video, or there's an edit thing in the screen. You did it. Oh, it works. It does work in the middle, Xtina.
It worked.
She did me real wrong. She did me real. Yeah, that's okay. And what did it? So it was just a little pencil, right? Just a little pencil.
Yes.
Yes,
it was a pencil.
What side of the screen was it on? Was it the upper right, upper bottom?
Upper right.
Upper right. Okay, upper right pencil. You click that, and then it says what?
Yes. And then it'll say preview. Would you like to put on the video? And then you click on the video icon, and then we got it.
Yes, got it. All right, cool. All right, Mama, what do you want to ask me?
Great. All right. So while I'm going through heartbreak, so I just wanted to know, like, my love life. Will Ahmed reach out again to reconcile, or like try to date again? Yeah. And will I find love again this year? I don't know. So
yes to finding love again. I don't trust this person to commit to you or to follow through, because I feel like they, you know what I'm reminded of is like whenever someone doesn't get their way, or they're just not really, like they're not really sure, and so they just don't even try to stick with it. It's almost like not being unsure and just like pulling away. And I feel this energy with this person, so I feel like they might have a habit or a history of doing this on a regular basis. And so just so be prepared, because this may not be the only time that they try this with you. I don't feel confident though that they can give you what you're looking for, and I kind of feel like they're just running around in circles at this point, and they just need to like get over it and figure out what they want and then be honest about it. So just FYI with that. If you take them back, because they might try to reconnect, if you take them back, it's just a circle, so they may just put you in circles. So be prepared for that.
Over and over.
With that being said, I do think there is another individual you might meet. I want to say this is probably in February or March of 2023. And this person is someone you're going to know through your job or work situation at that time. It starts off it starts off as a friendship, and this is a complete difference of type for you. So it's going to be a personality or a person that you're not normally drawn to, but this person just hits it in the right spot that gets you sucked in. And I feel like the most endearing quality is that they are a goofy, funny personality, and immediately you're sucked in, because no matter what is going on, they try to find solutions to problems without making it worse. And if something is going down, they try to make the person feel better. And you might see them doing this with others, and people are going to be confused, because they're like, this ain't your type. Like, and you're like, I know, but I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. But there's intensity there and there's passion there for sure. So just FYI with this.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I needed to hear that.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Are you about like 5'4"?
Oh, my height? Okay, I think in America, I think like 5
feet 4 inches.
8.
Okay, so I'm thinking that this person is a little. Are you sure you're 5'8"?
I'm 174. I don't know what that is in like feet and inches.
Okay, so 174. Yeah, 174 centimeters. Or meters?
Yes.
Okay, centimeters. So I don't know, for those y'all math people, like, what is that? But I'm thinking 5'4" or whatever. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like there's an obvious height difference between you and the person you end up with as well. But it's cute. It is so cute. So yeah, I love it. Yeah, because I can see the wedding pictures, and it's an outside venue, and there's a special bridge that either you really love or a special place where there's a bridge, and this is where the wedding happens. It's like in an outdoor space. So it's a really pretty thing.
Oh my, wow. Are we from the same country? I'm sorry, I'm not like pulling straws. Are we like from the same country? Because I'm always about like, you know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is definitely someone who's from a different country. Where are you right now? Are you in the States?
No, I'm in South Africa.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So this person is definitely no, they're South African. This is the same country. It's the same country. Just a very different type than what you normally go for. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sweet
couple. That's so sweet.
Sweet couple. Yeah. You'll get proposed in the first year you meet this person, because it's just it's too, it feels too connected to not want to like move forward to the next level. So.
Yeah. That's so sweet. Thank you so much, Ferny.
You're
Love you lots. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, darling. Well, you take care, Mama, and you enjoy your rest of your week, okay?
Thanks. You too.
You're welcome, darling.
All right. Bye.
All right. So let's see. Going over here. Let me go back over here because I said I was gonna. I promise. I remembered. Right. I normally forget these kinds of little things. Here she is. Let me see. If we got it on, because I forget. Sometimes I'll say that and then I totally forget because I get sidetracked and they're all talking in my head, so I go crazy. All right, we're back. Yay!
Hi.
All right. Okay. So we were talking about your dad, right? Or connecting with your dad.
Yes.
Okay. I mentioned that I felt like there was 3 separate issues that were affecting his health at the time of his passing, and so like with him, I feel like had he gone a year prior to his actual passing, even though he was on the liver transplant list, I feel like before his passing, another popped up in his body that might have had something to do with his blood sugar or his blood that was becoming a bigger issue for him, and it might have caused even further destabilization of his condition to where he wouldn't have even made it to the procedure, because had he gone through a procedure like a transplant, I don't think he would have made it through. So I feel like it would have been a more complicated thing. I also feel, thank you, during the year before he passed, did he get COVID?
Yes.
That was it. That was the thing that just his system. I feel like it threw his system into a bit of it overworked his system, and the system could not compensate and get itself back to a stable position. And I feel like it led to everything kind of going off after that, and it messed with his blood issues and his blood sugar, all of that. I feel like that was all tied to the COVID infection.
I see.
And did he not go to the hospital when he got COVID? Did he try to deal with it at home?
No, he didn't go to the hospital because he didn't have any major symptoms. I believe it was just like loss of taste. So he didn't.
I feel like had he gone to the doctor or gotten him to follow it up, they may have been able to like see if something was changing with his system, with his vitals, because of his blood work before the COVID and then after COVID. And I feel like that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So, I mean, so I know some people, it's not, I mean, they have minor symptoms, but like I know several people who have had COVID. 2 of them had heart bypass surgery. One of them had 2 of them. Another person who had all these other issues, and they were going through cancer. They had cancer show up in the body, and they've never had these issues. It's like I know people who, after that, if they had preconditions, some things were up that were not before an issue to deal with. So I feel like that may have thrown his system into chaos. But as far as getting information from your dad, he's showing me a picture of himself, and I feel like it's a picture on something that's edible. Did y'all make or have a cake made with his picture on it?
No, but my mom did make like rosaries, and she's in the process of putting pictures on them.
Okay.
Like stickers.
White?
What was that?
Are they white?
There's white rosaries, blue and black.
Okay. I don't know if that's it or not, because I was thinking of a cake, like edible, but I was, you know how like on the edge of the cake you see those little loopy things that they put in the edge? I was seeing the picture on front. Now it's possible I'm interpreting the sign that with the picture together, and that's his way of telling me that this was a picture. But I'm still gonna say there's a picture, there's a cake with a picture connected to it, because I almost feel like I'm a picture on a cake. So I'm gonna say there may be a picture of a cake that has his face on it because there's a reference there. Um,
His birthday's actually coming up on Sunday.
Interesting. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. If his birthday's coming up on, well, that could. I would still say there might be a cake with his picture on it.
Okay.
Also, Scooby. You know there was an animal named Scooby, or someone had a name Scooby?
No, my mom has a dog named Kobe.
Kobe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it like a mutt?
It's a Shih Tzu.
Okay. No, this is a different dog.
I have a dog named Sunny.
This is a pass. This already passed away.
Tuca? I have a dog named Tuca. She passed.
It's like Scooby-Doo, like Scooby.
No.
Ask your mom because she might remember referring to a dog and they called it Scooby or Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo, it's Scooby-Doo. Like I'm hearing it almost like that. It's almost like, but I'm seeing something like that. Also, did your dad have a mustache when he was younger? Okay, because he's real, like he's showing me this like handlebar mustache. I'm almost seeing him like when he was younger, and that's the version of him I'm seeing. So he wants to present himself in this way. He's also being real chiflado with your mom. You really like spoil him or real chiflado with her because he felt like he could get with your mom, even though you might nag him too much, but still, like he felt like he could get away. He also keeps acknowledging. Do y'all have a mug or a candle for him?
No.
There's like a tumbler. It's like a tumbler that he would use because he didn't. It was hard to just not spill things.
Not that I can think of.
It's a tumbler, and it almost looks like like a blue or like metal blue, but it's like a tumbler. So there might be a tumbler that he's making reference to. I might even have a picture of him holding this cup because it's showing me this tumbler or something like that is connected, and it's almost like I used to drink because I couldn't drink out of a regular cup, or there was something wrong where I had to use a straw for a while. But there's something like there as well. He also is acknowledging the number second of a month or February is connected. Do you know about that?
You cut off. You said the 2nd of a month?
Yeah, the 2nd of a month or February is also significant.
February was my niece's birthday. He was in the hospital, so he missed her birthday.
He just wants to wish her a happy birthday. Thank you. Butterflies are a sign from him, and he might send her butterflies. So for her to look at that, because that's going to be a sign from him as well. Also, he messes with your phone or your TV. So if you have random like lighting of it, that's him. And then there's no message or nothing, and it's him. He's trying to get your attention.
Any messages for my mom? Because she's having a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah. Alma or Alma?
Armida's her name.
Okay. He loves her very much. He's sorry he missed Valentine's because she's his Valentine. He also says that she needs. Okay. The amount of love he's expressing is a lot with her. He feels really bad not here for her, and it's like he understands it, but it's like there's nothing he can do to change it, but he feels really bad about that. He is her soulmate, so he is making sure to tell her that the love of his life, because he wants to make sure. He also says, I don't know if she's been smelling his clothes. He's been like crying every day and smelling his clothes, but he's talking about his clothes. And I don't know if y'all are planning on having something made for her with his clothes as that, but he's acknowledging his clothes and her smelling it with his clothes. He might have even put some things next to her in bed with his clothing. He knows. He also says that he touched her on her face. So if she was asleep and she felt somebody touching her face, that was him. He also says that he comes every single night and sits at the bed and just watches her sleep. And so if she ever feels like something is changing, especially like around midnight or 1 o'clock, that's him letting her know that he's with her. He says he's not going to leave her alone and that he's going to try to find a way to let her know he's around her, but he doesn't want her to have a bad life, because he says she still has time left and she needs to be okay for the grandchildren so that they can remember her abuela, but he wants her to stay until it's time to join him. And she to have a good. He says to have a good time or have fun while he's gone, because now he's gone. She can break the rules to tell her that, you know, he's giving her to have fun until he meets her again, but he will see her again. And he says he promises that. He also said that he's going to send flowers. But he might send flowers out of nowhere. And it's not that y'all may not even do anything with that. That may be something that comes out of nowhere for her flowers. So she might on Mother's Day from him.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see, going over here. No. Oh, did it connect? Nope, sure didn't. All right, let me try somebody else. Just literally waiting for someone's thing to load. Here. Hello, Tanya.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
Good. My camera works this time.
Yes, thank you. Yay, cool. Awesome. What you want to ask me about?
Okay, so
Oh. And then the connection timed out.
Ow.
There you are. Okay. All
I
right.
know I did. It was my battery's going.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So I'm talking to a guy right now
Mm-hmm.
since September,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to know, like, where is it gonna go?
So I'm actually seeing you getting engaged or possibly married in October this year. I don't know if it's with the new guy or if it's with someone who comes back into your life, but I'm kind of leaning on it being someone coming back and then y'all hitting it off again, and then you taking the risk and getting engaged or married in October. So I'm thinking
Is
that,
it Marquis? Because that's someone that left and is trying to come back.
I don't know, but it feels like someone that's been around before and then comes back in, and you might be crazy enough to say yes. And if you do that, you probably need to be prepared that it could potentially not work. So just FYI, you just don't want to like throw everything in like that. But I would just say, be careful, be cautious, take it slow. Don't go crazy and say yes to something if you don't really know for sure. The guy that you're talking to right now, I don't think that he's done with an ex either. So he might still be dealing with an ex too.
We have a trip in May, so I was like, I don't know if I should go.
That's your decision. If you go on the trip, I mean, I don't think you're going to end up going on, like,
Not talking.
right. I think you're going to start talking before me.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I would say is, if you don't expect too much and if you don't take it too seriously, go on the damn trip, have fun, and enjoy. But if
That's
you're,
what I said. 'Cause
yeah.
My friends are like, you know what? Just, have fun. If he's inviting you, just go. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it. You know, I have options. Like, he has his options too. I know that.
Good.
Like, for sure.
Yeah, good.
But,
So don't take it so seriously. Have fun. You know, sometimes people end up sticking with each other when they're not putting pressure on each other or making their lives hell. I would rather like stick with somebody who's just, it's a smooth going.
go with the flow.
Yeah, like my ex and I fought like cats and dogs like 3 or 4 times a week. My partner and I now, we maybe fight maybe once a month, twice at the most, and it's over the stupidest things or just us, having a really intense conversation. But it's still easier than my ex. And so what I would say is just go with easy or smooth versus complicated and intense, because at the end of the day, it's like peace of mind is worth something versus like crazy. So just FYI.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you don't put too much pressure on it, you might still be able to keep up with and go on the trip. But I'm thinking this other person that pops back in, you give them a chance and then they mess you up.
It's not my baby daddy, right?
I don't know.
I hope.
But it feels like someone who's going to act like you were the great love of their life. They didn't know what they were talking about. Oh my God, there's no one like you. And then they are like, 1 minute they're like just trying to get back in the door. And then like a week later they're engaged or they're trying to marry you. So be prepared.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have one more question real quick.
Mhm.
I had a dream with my grandma last year.
Yeah.
Last year, the ending of last year. And it felt really, really real. Like I hugged her and she touched me. And I don't know if she came in my dream to meet my son, because in the dream that's what it felt like. Like she was meeting my son.
She came to let you know that she was aware of what was going on in your life at that time. So she was coming in to let you know about that. But also, at that time when you were going through that, you might have felt a little bit like distance from other people in the family, where you felt like you weren't getting enough of that motherly, nurturing energy. And she came in to fill the gap.
That's why she hugged me?
That's what she hugged you
She
to
gave
fill
me
in.
that-
Because she's like, Neha, you need a hug. You need a hug. I love you. I'm here. So she just wanted to let you know she was with you.
Okay.
Back then, around that time, were you and your mom not getting along, or you and your mom just kind of not on the same page?
Yeah, we were just on and off. Like she was just very distant with me.
Yeah.
Like everything bothered her.
Yeah,
So I guess
like you were. I mean, your grandma. Like she wanted you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone, Mija. She's with you. She's with you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just don't be doing crazy stuff and getting married out of the blue. It's stupid.
Yeah, I'm a have that in the back of my head.
Okay. All right, Mama. You take care of yourself, sweetheart. You're welcome, baby.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Going back over here, and then I'll do some more comment ones. Actually, yeah, let me do comment ones now because I'm getting to the end of my time anyways. So let me jump over here. Let's see. Yeah, Raquel Ovedo. Any messages from my son, Ferny? My world has been kind of down lately. Just wondering if things will get better soon. Give it about 2 to 3 months, because it might take 2 to 3 months to kind of see a clearing there and you start to feel a little bit lighter. As far as your son is concerned, there might be something that is going to be made or is already been made where I almost see like a 3-dimensional image of his face. I don't know if this is like a plaque with like a 3-dimensional like bust of his face, or if there's actually something 3-dimensional that you might end up having or receiving that's connected to him. So there's a reference there. He's also showing me the 27th. So the 27th of a month may be significant, or February the 7th might be connected. He also says he came in a dream and he's talking about Christmas. So I don't know if you remember having a dream about him around Christmas time, but he's acknowledging Christmas and a dream. So there might be a reference to that as well. He also sends you doves. So white doves. They may even look like pigeons, but are really white. But it's like one spot. It still counts as I would still count it as a dove. But he sends you white doves, so look out for those as well. Okay, let's go back over here. Hey, Boy Beto. Hey, Beto here. Can you tell me about my career changes for me or messages from my past loved one? So there's actually going to be 2 career changes because I feel like, first of all, I think you have great ideas. I just feel like you don't have enough faith in yourself to follow through or just to kind of commit. At some point, I do think you will get involved in a business it's like a partnership with someone that's like a relative or something like that. What I'm reminded of when I think of this, because I'm reminded of another reading that I did once a while back ago, where there was a guy and he was getting together with some of his buddies and they opened up like an auto shop for like old classic vehicles to do maintenance and to also restore. And it was like custom work that they were doing for people who wanted to spend the money on it. So I'm reminded of that. So there might be an opportunity for you to get into a business with family members or with 2 or 3 other people, and it could actually work, and it would be based off of money that is received from the family or a loan that comes through that is makes it really easy to be able to do this. It's worth it in my opinion, because I feel like it definitely goes somewhere. I also think it might be connected to like flipping houses or real estate or properties, because I'm keep seeing properties in my head as well. Before that comes up, and that may not be for about 3 to 4, but that may not be for about 4 years actually, but before that comes up, you might go into another career path or another job or work situation, and it might just be like what you're doing now, but like with a different organization or in a different place. I just don't feel like it's going to do enough for you, and you might still feel the same way after all that is said and done. Sometimes when we're trying to run away from something and we're trying to go to something that's better, or we're trying to build it up, it just feels like we run into the same issue. And that's just because whenever you run away from anything, inevitably it'll catch up to you and you have to face it at some point. And I used to tell my partners at my baristas all the time at Starbucks when they're like, hey, Ferny, I'm kind of ready to be done with Starbucks. And I'm like, I get it, girl. I don't want to be here, but I'm just here because I got a mortgage to pay for. But they're like, yeah, I don't want to leave you, but I'm done with like customer service. And I'm like, I get it. Like, you don't have to apologize to me if you want another job. Just give me a heads up so I can plan the schedule around it. And then that way I can get you off the schedule when you're ready to go on. And so several times my partners would leave and go to other companies. Like one of them, went to Whole Foods, another one went to Massage Envy, et cetera. And afterwards they were like, I know what you were talking about now. And you said, don't run away from issues because they'll come back and bite you in the ass and work. And I was like, I'm telling you, like, you have to be at peace or make peace with things if you're walking away from a job or work situation that you just don't like anymore, you just hate, because it will follow you and it'll manifest again one way, shape, or form. And you'll be like, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep following me? I'm like, because you're supposed to learn to understand that situation and then to turn it into something else and stop making yourself the victim of those scenarios, because you're not a victim. You have a lot more control in your life, but as long as you act like you're the victim and life is like throwing all this shit at you, then you're just going to keep running into the same bullshit all over again. And then you'll start running in circles. So make peace before you walk away from something, or it's going to follow you and then it'll show up in a new form or in a new way if it's not the same original issue. Okay. Stephanie, will I get my dog back? So I'm already broken just reading this question because I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine if someone took my mom again. But with that being said, I actually think you might get your dog back because I feel like someone may spot the dog or someone may see it and recognize it from something that they saw. And they may give you a lead, which may lead you to where the dog may be. So I actually think it is possible that you might get the dog back. But it might take a little time, so you might need to give it a little bit of time. Because when I saw your question and I think of this, immediately I'm taken to those like stories that I hear about, like people, I got my dog, or the dog went back to its owner 7 years later or whatever. I don't think it's gonna be that long or anything near that. It might just be a few weeks or maybe even a couple months, but I do feel like you might end up getting the dog back. So I'm hoping that I'm right with this one and that you're gonna see your baby back home. Okay. Oh shoot. Mads.p, Madeline, hope you are doing well. Will I get a scholarship to my top college? I don't feel like you're going to get a scholarship, but I do think you're going to get financial aid that will pretty much cover a good chunk of your expenses. So I do feel there is going to be support there, but it doesn't feel like a scholarship. It almost feels like it's almost something that I would consider to be like a tax break or tax incentive. Like what you would normally pay towards taxes, it actually goes towards your college. So there's something like that that's like a program that y'all may hear about next year, that may come up as well. So there's something like that. But I also feel it's like there's like funds there, or like I don't even think it's a loan because I don't feel like it's going to be debt. I feel like it's actually like money that's offered. It's like funding. But there's two ways that I think you'll end up getting money. I'm not thinking it's a scholarship, because I feel like it's something different, but it doesn't cover 100%, but it's like 70, 80%. It's still a significant amount of money that you end up having to cover your expenses. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of time. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back next Wednesday. Sorry. I was going to do Friday, but my mom's here and I'm going to deal with my mom.